For those of you who are sitting in the back of the room, may I please make a request for you to join us in the front? I know it's been a very long day, and these are your final two presentations. For those of you who are sitting in the back, may I please make a request for you to join us towards the front? It'll be slightly more interactive for you to have it this way. Also, just a quick reminder, in case you have not filled in your feedback forms, which gives critical feedback and insight to ICAP and the conference organizers, please do so, and you can either leave the feedback forms on your chairs or submit them at the registration desk outside. Now, hundreds of CAs from Pakistan are currently based in Saudi Arabia, working in diverse sectors and commanding a premium for their excellent educational standards and superior quality of articleship. This following presentation is focused on the following points: potential areas of improvement to further enhance the Pakistani CFO credibility and acceptance in Saudi Arabia, discussion on the HR recruitment approaches and practices in Saudi Arabia that Pakistani CFOs can understand and exploit to their advantage, and sectors and employers in Saudi Arabia where Pakistani CFOs have the greatest chance to further their careers. May I please invite the Chief Financial Officer of Al Tawq Group in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Mr. Noor. Please give him a big round of applause.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon to all of you. It's indeed a fantastic gathering. It's been good to catch up with many of you since morning. I knew I was going to do this graveyard shift, and therefore I wish to spare you the slides. Just a short speech, though. Anyways, thankfully the organizers of this event have had a very interesting theme for the conference, scaling new heights and facing new challenges. Sitaron se aage jahan aur bhi hain. That seems to be the everyday life of the CFO fraternity in any case. Well, I've got just some 20 minutes to make my point and leave you with something of value, so I will try and pace my speech accordingly. But before I formally launch into a very fascinating topic and how it is so relevant at this conference, a little bit of getting some other formalities taken care of. I would like to sincerely thank ICAP for inviting me and for organizing this CFO conference that is clearly well attended by the cream de la cream of the finance fraternity. I, for myself, have a Ferguson, Karachi audit and tax background, qualified 10 years back, and was immediately part of the brain drain that unfortunately but probably understandably afflicts this country. Since then, I first worked for a French bank in Saudi Arabia for 6 years, and then some 2 odd years working as the CFO for Morgan Stanley, setting up Morgan Stanley in Saudi Arabia, but working out of their London office. And for the past couple of years, I am the Group CFO for Al Tawq Group, which is a unique Saudi family investment group that is principally a financial investor in first world financial products, private equity, hedge funds, structured products, working in different sectors such as real estate, aviation, oil and gas, infrastructure verticals. I oversee their accounting and finances and global treasury and admin and HR, risk management strategies, and also give my input and co-facilitate on investment opportunities all over the globe. Thank you for being in attendance, and moving on. Let's start with some statistics that would put this topic into its right context. Of the 5,000 plus chartered accountants, Pakistani chartered accountants that are out there, some 1,300 of them are abroad. Of those 1,300, some 800 are just in Middle East alone. 800 Pakistani chartered accountants in the Middle East. This basically tells me two things. One, we probably love tax-free countries. And secondly, probably the tax-free countries like us as well. But the bigger question is to determine what fields, what positions, what sectors these expatriate Pakistani CAs are in. How many of them are really in the big league and not just merely analysts or assistant accountants? And what landed them in those positions, and what still makes them valuable to the Middle Eastern employer? I will get that to in a minute, but a quick something that I just want to share and get out of the way. When a Middle Eastern employer looks at the resumes of Pakistani chartered accountants coming in, the C alphabet soup of CA, CIA, CPA, CISA, SEMA, God knows what. They profusely litter, mashallah, it's great, but it profusely litters those resumes. यूं तो सैयद भी हो, मिर्जा भी हो, अफगान भी हो, तुम सभी कुछ हो, बताओ क्या मुसलमान भी हो. The challenge for Middle Eastern employer is to really sift the wheat from the chaff and determine if beyond these qualifications, is the Pakistani CA candidate also world-wise, street smart, presentable, savvy, dynamic. To be honest with you, this glut of degrees is really putting the Middle Eastern employer off. They are looking for an all-rounder, not a degree aggregator. We need to show, we Pakistani chartered accountants, CFOs need to show that we are dynamic. We have exposure beyond mere debits and credits. We have risk knowledge. We have treasury exposure. We have investment acumen. We have presentation skills. We have writing abilities. And not just 4, 5, 6 degrees that start with C. My decade-long observation of Middle Eastern recruitment of Pakistani CAs tells me of 2 streams in which most of them come in. One is the Big 4 audit firm route, which many fresh CA grads take to come to the Middle East, and then in a couple of years they move on into the industry as chief accountants, financial controllers, or if they landed really big, CFOs. The other stream, the one that I wish to focus on today, is the senior CA fraternity that is already CFO elsewhere, who have then moved into the Middle East in varied sectors as CFOs. Given this to be a CFO conference, I wish to speak more from that angle. Pakistani CFOs in the Middle East, what gets them there, what keeps them there. Let me start by quashing 2 misconceptions. First one is a common misconception that you have to have Arabic linguistic skills to really climb the success ladder in the Middle East. While this is something that is highly desirable, of course, it is not entirely a requirement. So that should not put off prospective CFOs for applying for similar positions in similar roles in the Middle East. The other rumor, the other misconception is that Middle East is like a public toilet. People outside are desperate to come in and people inside are dying to get out. That is so not true. Middle East offers career advancement, good standard of living, excellent law and order situation, barring a few issues that have recently crept up, but they have been contained, exceptional warmth of the nationals, and look, 800 Pakistani chartered accountants can't all be wrong. Currently, we have Pakistani CFOs in the Middle East who are working and managing large investment banks, large commercial banks, trading houses, insurance companies, sovereign wealth funds, family offices. And they're doing that in leading capacities, from Jeddah to Riyadh to Khobar to Kuwait to Manama to Muscat and whatnot. We have a strong foothold, and we are proving exceptional in our performance in the Middle East. But that momentum needs to be sustained. This undercutting salary expectations by some out-of-the-job chartered accountants from other parts of the world has led to a dilemma for some Middle Eastern employers, and they have started to dabble by replacing the Pakistani CFOs with CFOs of other nationalities. But you'd be glad to learn that those Middle Eastern employers who are eventually after the quest for quality have come back to hiring Pakistani CFOs in many such organizations. This is the success and strength of Pakistani CFOs and CAs, which we don't read in the financial press. But I have much evidence to support that, and we should be proud of this. But the mother of all questions is that are all Pakistani CFOs equal? Nope. Just like everything else, some are more equal than others.